Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. In today's video, we're going to learn all about Stripe and how you can connect your Bolt project to Stripe via MCP and their API. By the end, you'll understand the difference between both of those connection methods, and you'll be able to list both a physical and a digital good on your Bolt project. So let's dive in. Here's our prompt. Let's build a landing page to sell merchandise from my design agency called Bold Strokes. It should sell two products, a digital PDF guide, which is downloadable, and a t-shirt posted within the USA for $9. The brand should use a vibrant royal blue as the primary color and multiple shades of beige throughout. It should look modern and use unique layouts. Let's put this into plan mode and let's generate our plan. Notice now when we send off our initial prompt that we're seeing the agent entirely in a full screen view instead of just on the left with the preview how it was before. This helps you focus on the planning stage, and when the build is ready, that's when you'll see a preview. While that's planning, let's jump over into Stripe and set up our account. Stripe has the ability to create a sandbox testing account. This doesn't process real money, and it's a great way to understand the workflow. We'll be using this for this demo. To enter the sandbox mode, simply select your account on the top left and select switch to sandbox. Here you can create your own sandbox, and I've already created one called Bolt Tutorial Shop. Now let's jump into the product catalog, and you can see no products have been listed. On our homepage, this is where we can see our API keys, and we'll be coming back to that later. Jumping back into Bolt, let's look through our plan. Design a bold, modern landing page with vibrant royal blue and layered beige tones throughout, an eye-catching hero section, and oversized typography. It's all sounding pretty good. We've got two products in the product section, checkout and payments, and order records behind the scenes. We'll just answer the clarifying questions, take it off plan mode, and let's build out the project. In one prompt, the agent's finished building and it's set up the landing page like we asked. Here's the digital PDF guide for sale and also the T mentioned as well. I'm honestly quite impressed how it's been able to match the aesthetic across these product shots using this bold strokes look on both the guide and the t-shirt. In your agent chat, you may see a button asking you to enter your Stripe API key. This was our legacy method of communicating with Stripe. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect to Stripe via MCP, allowing your Bolt agent to directly communicate with your Stripe account. It's important for you to get your head around two important concepts. The first is how your agent understands your Stripe products. If it wants to pull in Stripe data into your project account, or if it wants to create a new Stripe product, anything like this, it can use MCP. The second is once you've published your site and live users are using your site and they want to buy something and go through the checkout flow, this secure communication method between your project and Stripe is done via server functions. The Bolt agent usually does a really good job of setting these up, and this will be done later in the project too. Now let's connect the Bolt agent to your Stripe account via MCP. At the time of this recording, Stripe has not been added as a pre-configured connector, but don't worry, it's coming soon. For now, we can add it as a custom MCP server. To add it, we'll give it the name Stripe, use the URL mcp.stripe.com. Our transport type is HTTP, and our authentication is MCP OAuth. Now let's add MCP server. Now Stripe has been added to our list, but authentication is required. So let's click on this and now click connect. This takes us to a new page. We can choose either the live account or the sandbox that we want to use it on. In this case, we'll use the sandbox. I'll click enable MCP. By default, the permission is set as write, and this is if we want to create products in our Stripe account from our Bolt agent. If you don't want to give the agent those privileges, you can just select read, but I'd like to demo how write works as well. Let's review this and authorize. MCP server connected. And back in Bolt, we can see that the Stripe connector has been connected. Back to project. Now it's important in the agent prompt box to click on the plus, click on connectors, and make sure that you toggle the Stripe connector on. Here's our prompt. Please add the two products I have created here in this project to Stripe. The digital PDF should cost $19 and the Studio T should cost $29. Let's plan this out and generate our plan. So here's the plan. It'll create the products in Stripe, adding both of the products and the shipping fee. Then it'll update the landing page to show the correct prices and prepare for the checkout stage. Do you want me to wire up the working checkout in the same step? To which I said yes. We'll take it off plan mode, and now let's build. The agent's finished building, and here we can see both products are created in your connected account with Stripe. So let's have a look. Back in Stripe, we'll click on Product Catalog. And now, all of a sudden, we have the Studio T and the Bolt guide, showing the correct pricing for each. If we open up into one of these, we can see it's added things such as a description with metadata saying it's a physical product, noting that this was deduced and added by the Bolt agent. Now there's two things to know. First of all, that our Stripe account is in test mode. So that means we can follow the full checkout flow using Stripe's test card. The card number is 4242 repeating, using any future expiry date and any 3-digit CVV code. Also, when we have the real PDF guide, we're ready to add that in. Another thing I'll point out is it's showing at the bottom that we're missing the Stripe secret key. Jumping over into database and looking at our server functions, we can see that the Bolt agent has created 2 server functions. And for these to communicate with Stripe, they need an API key. Let's now open our secret settings, jump back into Stripe, go to the homepage, and here we can see our secret key, which we'll copy, paste that value in, and create secret. Now it's time to test out the checkout flow. We don't have access to the Stripe checkout link directly here in the Bolt preview, so now it's time to publish our site. Click Publish. Let's now open the live site, scroll down to our products, select large for the Studio Tee, and buy the tee. This opens the checkout. Here's the Studio Tee heavyweight cotton t-shirt. That description that was added by the Bolt agent, which you can always modify in Stripe or by the Bolt agent. The cost of the shirt plus the USA flat shipping rate. Noting the agent has successfully added the $9 accurately, showing that it's a USA flat rate. Now we'll enter our email address, our shipping address, the Stripe test card number, a future date, any CVV, and now let's pay. Payments processing, confirming our order. It's redirected us back to the site automatically and confirmed the order. So just like that, we've done a test checkout flow. Now in Stripe, if we look, we can see our gross volume today is $38. The checkout graph shows this purchase. And on the transactions page, we can see that that transaction has successfully gone through. Now let's test out the PDF download. We'll buy the guide. It brings us to checkout, noting that because it's a digital download, it's now not asking us for our physical postage address. We've entered in that same test information and let's pay. The test transaction is processing, showing us as complete. Now taking us back to the live site, it's saying we couldn't confirm your order. So this is something let's now fine tune with the Bolt agent. Let's take a screenshot of this, add that screenshot into the agent chat window. Here's our prompt. When I try to buy the digital PDF, it seems as though the transaction is successful by showing us a green tick on the Stripe payment link. However, when it redirects us back to this page, I see this error attached. Upon redirect, this is where we should take the user to a page where they can download the guide. Use a placeholder download button for now until we upload the guide, and build. Now we see another one of the big benefits of having the Bolt agent connected to Stripe via the MCP connector. And it's showing that the test payment did go through fine and the order was confirmed on the back end. There was a small hiccup that happened when checking on the order. So now this has been fixed, made more resilient, and we're ready to test it again. So let's publish, refresh the live site, and let's test this checkout process again and pay. Processing, Stripe shows the transaction is successful, order is confirmed, and here's our button to download the guide. To double check, let's jump into Stripe, refresh our transactions, and just like the agent had confirmed, the transaction for the digital PDF has gone through twice. Now there are a few little things that I recommend touching up before you go fully live with a process like this. Let's double click into the Studio Tee, for example. We'll edit our product details. And here we can see we don't have an image assigned to the product. This is the image that the customer will see at checkout. So let's ask the Bolt agent to use the existing image from the landing page here. Here's our prompt. I've noticed in Stripe that the products don't have an image assigned to them, and I don't see an image on the Stripe checkout link page. Please use the images for the respective products on the landing page as those checkout images, and build. The agent's been able to update those images in Stripe. So coming back to the product page in Stripe, we can now see that these two products have that updated image. And if we follow the checkout flow on the live site, we can see the product image has been added to the checkout link as well, increasing users' trust. Now note, there's plenty more that you can build on top of this. For example, you can create an administrator's dashboard where you can see everybody who's bought the Studio T, their shipping address, and track the shipping process. You may also want to consider providing updates to your user when you've marked one of the shirts as shipped. So there we go. In today's tutorial, we've created our very own landing page for two unique products, one being digital, one being physical. By connecting the Bolt agent to Stripe via MCP, we've been able to effectively use the information from our Bolt project and add that into our Stripe account. This really goes to show the power of connecting the Bolt agent to Stripe via connectors, meaning that you can now seamlessly interact with your Stripe dashboard via the Bolt agent. As always, I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial and all the best implementing Stripe in your site.